What do you think about women who out-earn men? RP often says women who out-earn men will look down on the men. The Bible calls men to provide. Do you think there's nuance in the world we live in now? That's a good question, man. What do you think? There was a time where my wife out-earned me.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of.
Yeah. I think
I would do laps around her now.
Yeah. I'll be totally honest. I think in most cases, it is very, very suboptimal. Yep. And actually, from even the female perspective, it's I think a lot of women are pricing themselves out of the dating market in many ways, because the truth is, and this is something that, you know, the RP is right on, is as a man, the more you earn, the more your options and attractiveness will increase, right? It increases your pool. For women, it actually does the opposite. It does decrease their pool, because most women do want to have a long-term relationship with a man who earns more than them.
This is
just like they want to be with a man who's taller than them. There are exceptions, always exceptions, but generally speaking, that is just true. That's how we are wired. And so, yeah, it's a weird.
Does that make us fragile, though? Doesn't that kind of make us soft as men and just be like, I can't let my wife earn more money than me? That's kind of beta.
In what way? Say that again.
Like if a man is so threatened by his wife making more money than him, isn't that kind of an issue he needs to work through?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Honestly, I just think that the reality of the dynamic, and look, I don't think like women are necessarily like thinking through all this thing, like just like you know, 'cause take the height thing. Right. Women are generally attracted to men who are taller than them. Right. It doesn't mean if you're short, you can't like have a woman, or, you know, your wife can't be taller than you or whatever.
There's
right?
exceptions to the rule.
There's always exceptions. But overall, by the way, the same thing I'm talking about, women pricing themselves out. Same thing happens with height. The taller you are as a man, the more options increase.
It's a fact.
Right.
Yep.
The taller you are as a woman, if a woman is 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", that decreases the number of men who, number one, she's going to be attracted to, but also the guys who even kind of feel comfortable with that situation. I don't want to date a girl who's 6'4".
Yeah.
Because I'm like, whoa, like she's 5 inches taller than me. That's kind of, as a man, you know, people might say that it's wrong and try to intellectualize it or whatever, but we do have certain biological hardwiring.
I think that's
of
fair.
Things that we like or we prefer.
Yep.
And this isn't, look, I'm sure there's many men out there in the world whose wives are earning more than them, who are comfortable and secure in that, and everyone's bringing stuff to the table, and it's cool, and they've worked it out.
Yes.
But
there's exceptions to the rules for sure.
It's not optimal.
This is what I would say. I would say ideally, just from a biological fact of who's going to raise the kids when you have kids for that window of time.
Got it.
You should be willing as a man to provide for your woman, because Gallup did a study, 56% of women who work would have preferred to stay home.
Absolutely.
If they were given the opportunity.
56% who admitted it.
Yeah.
I bet it's higher.
With kids under 18.
Yeah.
This isn't TradCon. This isn't Christian women. These are just working women would have preferred to stay home. It's not counting women that don't work, that are already stay-at-home wives.
Oh, let me add something to what I said.
Yeah.
The more conservative / traditional you are, the more the situation of the woman out earning you is actually likely to break that dynamic. If you're like a super liberal, progressive, equalist type, you know, split the dinner bill, that type, then it would actually, you'll be more comfortable in that type of situation, both of you.
Yeah.
If the woman, you know, regardless of who earns more, whatever, if you have that truly, you know, fully equalist, more sort of modern worldview, then that's more likely to function. If you're someone who wants to play a more traditional role and have that type of setup, like I think you have with your wife, right?
Yeah.
Then you, as the man, you want to be the breadwinner.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it throws the whole dynamic off.
Ruslan, you're going to be rich. I mean, you got to define rich. I'm definitely trying to build
He's
wealth.
rich in the Holy Spirit, man.
Sure. Rich in the Holy Spirit, but I'm definitely trying to build wealth for sure. I have no qualms with that, saying that out loud. Now, I think what you're getting at is very practical. I think it's even more practical when you have kids.
Yes.
I think what can be helpful is that is the North Star you're shooting for as a couple, a Christian couple, a couple that wants for someone to stay home and raise the kids. The North Star is, hey, like we want the wife to be able to stay home because it's biologically
makes more sense.
Yeah. I think the tough part is that not everyone starts there. Sure. Like my wife was way better at college than I was. Like way better at college.
Yes.
Bro, I'm a year older than her. I graduated 03. She graduated 04. She finished college like 2 years before. I was on like the 8-year path. And I technically never graduated, Zuby. I fake graduated. I had one exit exam that I never did for a foreign language as Russian because I didn't want to take it. I didn't want to take the test. And so they let me walk and take like a picture with the dean.
Oh, wow.
But I never officially graduated.
That's so funny.
And I still graduated like 4 years after her. So I say all that to say, initially my wife way out-earned me. But our North Star was, we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
We got to figure this out because we know that when we have kids, we're seeing our other friends that are sending their kids to daycare, that are paying other people to raise their kids. That's not going to be us.
Yeah.
We're not going to pay somebody else to raise our kids. No disrespect to anybody that sends your kids to daycare. That's just not how we roll. And so we knew we had that value that she wanted to stay home and raise the kids.
Hey, you want to see something kind of crazy? Over 75% of the people that watch this channel are not subscribed. Please consider subscribing and turning your bell notification on so that you don't miss anything we have going here.
Wildly enough, when she started doing that, all of a sudden she felt more content. There was less stress.
Yes.
She was amazing at homeschooling. My 8-year-old tests off the barometer on all the standardized testing. And so we figured it out.
Yes.
And it was hard. It was hard, right? Because a lot of these worldviews and ideals that I kind of inherited through society and culture, even though I was in church, right? But we had enough of Jesus to know that's where we want to go.
Yeah.
Now check this out. In that, you talked about men's value in the sexual marketplace. The more I earned, the more sexually my wife was attracted to me. So
even in our
marriage, bro.
Interesting.
To the point, and I'm not trying to give you too much information. I know you aren't married yet, but bro, the more I became fit, and the more money I earned, my wife approaches me a couple years ago, Zuby, and is like, "I got a proposition for you." I'm like, "What up, babe?" She goes, "I've been thinking." It's like, "Thinking about what?" She said, "Hey, you know what? I think we should have a calendar
Oh, okay.
for our intimacy nights."
Okay.
I was like, "You sure?" And bro, I'm not going to tell you how many days a week it is. I'm not going to tell you how many days a week it is, but I'm going to tell you that it's not more than 5 and it's more than 2.
You guys saw Ruslan's weight loss video. He probably left this part out.
And so any tension or miscommunication or I'm tired completely went away, and she felt protected, provided for, loved, cherished enough to initiate that sort of conversation with me in terms of making sure our intimacy life was flourishing.
Yes.
Right? As a byproduct of, man, well, it feels really good to know that we have 6 months of living expenses in the bank, and that there's a plan for us to buy a home in Southern California, and that I don't have to worry about going and being a nanny and working part-time.
Yeah.
And so that's the practical side of what you're talking about. So women will feel protected and guarded and safe. Now, again, listen, ladies, there are certain women that you got a different grace over your life. You are entrepreneurial. You're an influencer. Maybe you're the woman that starts this sort of podcast and you initiate doing a podcast with your man to show them this inspirational side we're talking about. That's different. But generally speaking, I think you're totally spot on. And but my only caveat would be that it probably won't always be like that.
Yeah, I think I did say long term.
Long term.
Right?
Okay,
long
cool.
term,
So we
right?
agree. We
so
100% agree.
there can be times.
That should be the North Star long term.
Yeah, there can be times and periods for all sorts of reasons.
Someone might get sick. Someone could get injured.
Right. I'm an entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
If you're someone who's more entrepreneurial and you're starting a new business and you've stepped away from you were doing a job, getting paid regularly, and then you leave and you start a business, and the other person's, your wife is working and you're hustling to, get this business off the ground. There'll be moments where things change and fluctuate.
Yeah. And that happened for us. As I was getting my business off of the ground with the music, I quit my job in 2015. There was a couple year window in there that she would go and part-time nanny for a family. Yes. Because it was tight, man. Trying to be an independent rapper in 2015 was hard.
I know.
But
you have that North Star.
Yes.
You have the aspiration. This is also where self-knowledge is important, right? We can talk averages and statistics and data and, most people this, most people that. Ultimately, when you're in a relationship, when you're in a marriage, it's one-on-one.
Yes.
Right? So if you are that exception or this works for you or that works for you, then God bless you. Right? If you're that exceptional case where, you know what, you're a woman who's earning a lot of money and you're totally cool with your man not earning as much as you, and you're genuinely happy with that, and that's not, God bless you. Like I'm not here saying, oh no, that doesn't work or whatever. We're just talking generally, right? There's always going to be exceptions, and some of it is genuinely biological wiring. And when society changes, biological wiring doesn't shift, right? So short guys, I'm sure, would love to have a movement for women to be more attracted to shorter men. But it ain't gonna happen. This doesn't mean if you're short,
you're doomed forever.
No. Again.
Let me summarize it. You're speaking principles. You're speaking principles, not absolutes.
Yes, absolutely.
These are generally true principles. They're not absolute laws and binaries.
Yes, exactly. And again, even from the sort of red pill world and a lot of these dating and relationships conversations is guys and girls, you only need to find one person, right? So when I'm talking about things, we're talking about hundreds of millions or billions of data points, right? But you don't need to date every single woman in the world.
You mean you don't gotta go rack up 50 bodies?
You don't have to.
You don't gotta go sleep with 50 women?
No, you don't have to.
Oh man,
you don't have to.
Fresh and Fit gonna be mad, Zuby. They're gonna be so upset with you.
You don't have to. Some people are gonna go do it anyway.
You don't gotta spin plates. Oh no, spinning plates is like this.
Spinning plates can have some benefits.
Spinning plates and prioritizing women that give you sex for weekends?
I didn't say that.
Okay. Just make it clear. That's what the book says.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Remember, I read all this stuff.
Yeah.
I read all this stuff.
I've read it all as well, man, over many years. One thing that is correct on that is not coming from a mindset of scarcity and neediness, right?
In terms of spinning plates.
Yeah, what I mean is that the quote unquote advantage of that type of strategy is that you're not coming from a position of neediness.
Yeah.
Right. And it can be hard to kind of manufacture that. But look, if you're a guy and you really, really get your stuff together, you will have options. You will have women who are interested in you, and you won't be coming from, and you work on your confidence and all that. You won't be coming from a place of thirst and neediness in a way that like repels women, because they're just like, oh my gosh, like this guy is, quote unquote creepy because he's too needy. But
which is
to do that doesn't mean you need to go out there and run through
feminist women to find the good ones.
Yeah. There's balance and nuance to all of these things.
Hey, this is a segment from our daily after party stream. Consider partnering with us online for as little as $5 a month to get access to these daily after party streams completely unedited. You'll also get access to our podcast as they are streamed live into the community before anyone else gets to see them, get to interact with our guests, get access to our private Discord server, and a discount code for our store for as little as $5 a month. Ultimately, that will help towards helping us continue contextualizing the gospel using media and podcast here on YouTube. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.